Happy Monday. It's the beginning of a whole new week. And Archangel Michael and I are here to start the week with you right now. I'm actually going to try to post this a little bit earlier in the day because I feel like this message needs to get to you sooner than you think. A lot of us in our life have experienced a lot of loss. And I don't just mean losing a loved one, but I also mean losing jobs, losing people, relationships because of breaking up or whatever, losing important things, the death of a pet, whatever. And one thing that's not talked about enough in this spiritual community is how to start over, how to keep going, what to do after the death, and how to embrace and step into the rebirth. Because that's what a lot of us are experiencing right now. We are experiencing a massive transformation. And in the process of all of this, there is massive death. And I don't always mean literally, although sometimes it is literal. If you watch my previous video, you know that I lost a kitten. It was a very devastating situation, especially because I had found this kitten in the backyard and it was an innocent. And I spent a lot of money, which I would totally do again, to save this kitten, and only for a tragic incident to happen was heartbreaking. It was really, really heartbreaking. This was actually his little brother, not by blood, but by love. And so he's very, very attached to me as well. So he's gonna be hanging out with us today. This is Chopper. If you're familiar with Star Wars, he is named after a character from Star Wars, a droid, if you may. So if you're interested. And then this guy showed up. And this is Mishka, which means baby bear, because he looks like a little teddy bear. This was also unexpected. It hasn't even been a week since we lost our baby goose, but he's a sweetie and he needed love, and I felt like we are so blessed that it was the right thing to do in the moment. And Chopper over here was very, very used to having a friend, so it all just happened. The cat distribution um, dropped this one off too. But let's talk about starting over. How to start over, especially when you've experienced great loss. Something that I'm quite good at because just like you, we all have a story. We all have come from something. Like I like to explain to my 15-year-old son your origin story. If you're familiar with Marvel or DC or any superhero movie, every hero or even villain has an origin story, something that sort of pushed them into becoming who they are. Yeah. So when everything falls apart, it does not mean you're doing anything wrong. However, it is an opportunity, even in the darkest days, for you to have a whole new, fresh canvas. And see, that's the beautiful thing about all of this. It's not about deciding or figuring out who you are, because you already know who you are. It's about finally deciding who you are going to be and how to start over. See, when we start over, I think one of the first things a lot of us think we need to do is to be all or nothing. But when you've experienced some form of grief or you're experiencing grief, regardless of why you have that grief, and one thing people need to understand about grief is that grief is never going to go anywhere. You will always have some form of grief attached to that emotional disruption for the rest of your life. And so when you're creating this new identity of yourself, or you're stepping into the rebirth as it is and embracing the transformation, you need to understand that you will never be the person that you were before the experience. And that is just a part of who you are now. Not that it is in your identity, but it's something that experienced you that has changed you. And so then moving forward, you have to understand that this is your new. The version that you are right now is your new. And you need to just embrace that and stop trying to change that, in the sense of there's nothing wrong with you. The version of you are that you are right now is completely capable of creating the next version of you. and that the version that you are right now is completely capable right now in this moment to start to take the steps into the next version that you want to be. Wild, right? But exciting, because this is the reminder that you are in the driver's seat in all of this. You hold the key to the car. You get to step in and sit in that driver's seat and decide which direction you're going to go in, right? Now, when we get in the car and we start the engine, especially when it's really cold out, we don't just slam the gas and get moving. You got to warm up the car. And that's how you have to understand when you start over, you are working with an entirely new version of yourself that you might not be entirely comfortable in yet. My son, for example, and I've talked about him a lot on this channel because I feel like it's a great opportunity for one to share a little bit about my world so you can see how I apply these things in everyday life so that you can too. He is, an athlete and he's quite gifted at it, but he's growing rapidly. So he feels like every single time, kitten sneezing, he feels like every single time he starts to get comfortable, he has another growth spurt. You need to understand that that's how life is. You need to just understand that you are going to, we're going to have a friend here. Just decided to end that recording, but we're back. Anyways, you need to understand that you need to embrace just being uncomfortable. Get so comfortable with being uncomfortable because you're never going to truly be comfortable unless you're stagnant, unless you're staying exactly here. And if you're on this channel, then that's not what you're destined for or what you desire. You want growth, you want expansion. So if you want more, you need to do more. The kittens are here playing right now. So sorry, guys. I have them in here so I can keep an eye on them because they're a little naughty. If you know, you know. I'm sure many of you know. But so going forward, that's what you have to understand. And when you're stepping in this new body, you don't just jump into the deep end. You walk up to the shallow end, you sit down on the side, and you slowly ease your way in. That's how you truly start over. Because when we go into this energy of all or nothing, you're going to burn out. You're going to burn out. But the one thing that I've learned about being successful is you need to become so obsessed and fall in love with the thing that you hate doing the most. I hate doing laundry. Hate it. But I love me some clean clothes. And I love going into my closet and having access to options because they're not all dirty, So I make doing laundry really fun. I have a whole television show that I only watch when I'm doing laundry. It is my laundry show. And so every time I sit down or get up and I do anything, I put my little show on, whether I bring my laptop into the bedroom and I put it on there or I'm in wherever I'm at, I make sure that I have access to this show. And I only watch this show when I'm doing laundry. So I do laundry. A lot of it, especially when the show's getting really good. And you can do this for anything. I do the same thing for my treadmill. Well, I haven't been doing the treadmill as much because I've been walking outside more. But before, I would only watch a specific show on the treadmill. So I found a show that was like 30 minutes long, and every single time I would get on the treadmill, I would walk just a nice pace for 30 minutes, and I would watch my show. Fall in love and get so obsessed with the things that you think you hate doing. Get obsessed with it because that is a game changer. Because the new version of you is not going to be intimidated with doing the things that you need to do to be successful. And yes, we talk about romanticizing our life all the time. That's how. Romanticizing your life isn't about the aesthetic. It's about the enjoyment, the joy of it all. How can you make something that is so tedious, something you don't like, fun? Like doing the dishes. Maybe every single time you do the dishes, you put music on and you dance and you sing out loud at the top of your lungs and you just embrace it. See, when you go into this mindset that I love the journey, you will inevitably be successful because you're not going to want to put it off. You're going to be so obsessed with the idea of being the baddie who shows up every single day in her cute little gym outfit or a Pilates mom or, you know, whatever, you're going to be so obsessed with it because you become so enamored with the idea of being the version of yourself that actually attains your dream. Cool, right? Really cool. But here's the thing. Right now, in the middle of all this, do you want to know why you're struggling and why you're so tired? Because your biggest thing that you need to be doing is do the work on your energy. Because physically, you're capable of it. But right now, your self talk, you don't believe in yourself. You should be saying in your head every single day, I am capable. I can and I will. Stop talking yourself out of all of these movements and step into the version of yourself that tells yourself every single day that you are a baddie and you can do anything. I need you to make this decision with yourself right now that you are going to do all the things that you feel like for some reason that you can't do. Because you can do it. You're perfectly capable of doing it. And the version of you right now can do it. And this is what you're going to do. I'm giving you homework because that's what I do. I want you to pick one thing right now for you to really, really lock in on. What is the one thing, the most important thing that you're going to lock in on right now? That you're going to build? Because everyone talks about manifesting money, but all of the people who are talking about manifesting money, I can promise you they're not making money. What I'm teaching you here is how to build. How to build brick by brick the version of yourself that creates the life you've always wanted, that is full of the abundance and love. Because that's what I did. You can sit here and you can do every little manifestation method you've ever wanted, but it's not going to create the life that you want. Yeah, you might manifest a windfall of money, but then what? Then what? See, that's why I talk about my manifestation method all the time, the crock-pot method, where it's like you put the intention into your crock-pot and then you fill it with all the ingredients every day, which is the creation of the version of you who is that person that did all the things. Because the crock-pot method is simple. When you cook something in a slow cooker, for example, I actually used it yesterday. I knew that when I was going to put that chicken breast in there with all the seasonings and all the extra things that I needed to do, at the end of the night, I was going to have a beautiful meal. The intention was there and the knowledge and trust was there. All I needed to do was put those ingredients in. And the ingredients are, let's say that you're trying to manifest or call in a 50-pound weight loss. Okay. Well, what are you putting into your crock pot every single day to create that? Are you drinking your water? Are you in a calorie deficit? Are you going to the gym? Let's say you're trying to manifest a brand new car. Okay. What are you doing and putting in that crock pot every single day to create that? Are you building your credit? Are you saving your money? Are you doing your homework on where to get the car that you want? Do you even know what car you want? What's your price range? What payments can you have every single month? So that's the ingredients that you would put into your crock pot every single day. You're building brick, 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 brick by brick. You're climbing that ladder. That is how you do it. And in the process of what else are you putting in there is the energy shift, the mindset shift. I can lose the weight. I can buy the car of my dreams. I'm capable of lowering my credit. I'm capable of showing up to the gym every day. I trust myself to eat in a calorie deficit. I trust myself to be able to make these car payments every month. That's the energy shift I'm talking about. Because the sooner you change your inner world, you know me and my phone, the sooner you change your inner world, the faster you're going to change your outer world. Because if you change your inner world, it will become the reflection outside of you. It will change that as well. But it all starts right here. I have a personal trainer, and he played D1. He was a wide receiver at a D1 college. And I said to him, when you were on the field, what would you always say to make sure that you were the best of the best? I mean, you were a very successful wide receiver. You played D1 school. He ended up, not going into the NFL because he chose to stay in to get his master's. Kudos to him. And I said to him, what was it that you would say on the field? And he would say all the time, I am the best. I'm the best on this field. I catch every ball. that comes my way. I'm always open. That's that inner dialogue that you need to be running and like inserting that programming in your head every day. You think that the most powerful billionaires in the world walk into a room second guessing themselves? Do you think that every single time they go to make a decision, they're calling their friends to run everything by them? See, successful people can make a decision. I used to be incredibly indecisive. I'm still a little indecisive. I'm getting better every single day. But I can make big decisions when I need to make big decisions, and I don't second guess them. See, the thing about making a decision is as long as you're okay with the outcome, no matter how bad or whatever it could be, you're good. If you can be okay with the consequences of the decision that you made, you're good. You'll be fine. See, the anticipation, the fear is what's going to stop you, not the outcome. You guys are so capable. You can do all the things. I know you can. It's about making that conscious decision that you're going to do it and then putting in the work. And putting the work in is simply filling that crock pot every single day. That is why I don't teach fluffy stuff. We're building everything in real time. The kittens are playing right behind the camera. You are so capable. You are so amazing. So, this collective, your job right now to get to the next level is change your self talk. Because the way you talk to yourself is the most vital step. Because if you don't talk to yourself like your biggest cheerleader, who's going to? I love you guys so much. I will see you tomorrow. I don't think I did any house cleaning or housekeeping. I'm Kate the Angel Medium. Welcome. You are my Earth Angel Baddies, and we are building the most incredible lives we could possibly ever want, one brick at a time. I love you guys so much. If this resonated with you, make sure you like and share with all the right people that you think needs to hear it. If you haven't already followed me on other social media platforms, it's Kate the Angel Medium on all platforms. My accounts on Facebook and Instagram are all verified. Okay. And I will never reach out to you and offer you anything or ask for money. The only way you can book with me one-on-one is the link in the description box. And I love you, and I will see you tomorrow.